What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ and we are locked in. Now, this is episode 2 of The Shy. Last week, we seen 2 major situations that we need to worry about. First off is Jake getting whooped on by the cops for no reason. And the second is Emmett getting caught up because Darnell knows about him and Dominique and they watch soul food and soul food related to the real life situation. But before we get into all that, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel and be a part of this, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit the like button, it's the easiest thing you can do. Now we know for Darnell, he ain't tripping. But for Emmett, this is just weighing on him. Just weighing on him. Now Dominique, she's just all in his wife's face. Just smiling and laughing, not knowing that Dom has sex with her husband. But I'm not gonna hold y'all up. Let's jump into it. This is episode 2 of The Shy. We all know the main thing on Emmett's mind is Dom gonna let Tiffany know that he's smashed. So he's starting off, it's all red. He's running through the house. Tiffany's chasing him with a knife. And she's talking about, I know you had her call you daddy because you like that. And Emmett, he's running through talking about, you gonna kill me with the kid in the other room? She's like, you damn right. So Emmett, this is really heavy on him right now. And he doesn't know what he's gonna do about this situation. Whew. Luckily, it was just a nightmare. Now, Tiffany's talking about, Emmett, wake up. Hit him with the pillow. He wakes up. He's like, oh man, you're not mad at me, are you? I had a nightmare. She's like, nah, should I be? And he's like, no, we good. And she tells him, see, I told you about eating them flaming hot Cheetos. I just had a bag yesterday. And my mom used to always say, I can't eat after 8 p.m. because if I do, I'm going to have nightmares. I never understood that till I got earlier. But Emmett, he's going through it right now. We seen Jake get beat up by the cops. We seen a gun be pulled on Kev last week. So there's a lot going on through his mind. There was a little falling out between him and Jake. They didn't see eye to eye because Jake felt one way, Kev felt the other way. So now Kev, he just been in his room on his phone playing the game because this is how he's coping with everything. But as he leaves, his mom's talking to him. She's like, give me that phone. He goes back and he starts acting like a teenage boy. And we all know how it is because we've been there. We know somebody that was a teenager. He's doing all the talking back. He's resisting everything. And his mom, she's like, look, you can't be coming in drunk and high. You're doing all this stuff, self-medicating. You can't be doing this, Kev. But are you at least excited for your college walkthrough? Because he's getting to visit a college campus. And of course, Kev is like, nah, man, forget all that. Dre makes a valid point. She says everything we were doing in college, these kids are doing it in high school and middle school. I'm looking at the kids out here. I'm like, dang, everybody got phones. I ain't get a phone till my junior year in high school. But Kev, he goes in the cabinet. He's looking for some cheese puffs. And he's like, where's the cheese puffs? And they're like, where do you think? Kiesha's eating everything in the house. She's eating for 2. And that right there just makes Kev even angrier. Man, she needs to hurry up and have this kid. I know it's got to be hard for Kev in here. He's in a house with 3 women and one's pregnant. I know it's tough for him. Kiesha comes down. What he mad about? Oh, he mad you ate the cheese puffs. She like, oh, my bad. I know it's tough for him, bro. I can only imagine. I got 2 older sisters and my mom, but luckily I had a little brother. Oh, man, I wouldn't have to. I don't think I could be able to deal with this all day. Miss Washington. Oh, my bad. It's Jada. Jada and her young masseuse, they in the house. You know, they had a lovely date. He took her out. Oh, you don't need to bring your wallet. None of that. I got all of that, baby. It's on me. And he's talking about, how about you let me take you to your high school reunion? She looking at him like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. They're gonna be looking at me like how Jada got her groove back. And he's saying, oh, you're ashamed of seeing me. Now, this young guy, he wants to take it to another level, but he needs to be careful with this. Because Jada, she's like, oh, no, it's not that. It's just, I really don't want, she doesn't know how to have people look at her and say, hey, you with this young kid? What are you doing? But what she does is she changes the topic and the whole situation. Young men, you got to watch out for this. This is what these old ladies going to do. They're going to throw that thing on you and you ain't going to know how to react. Because she just said, I really don't want to talk about it. Got on his shoulder, got in his ear. And they laid on back. And when they throw it at you, young boys, be careful. Because these older ladies, they will trap your butt. And you ain't going to know how to get out of that. Trig is in the kitchen. He's whipping up some grits. But the whole time he's thinking about what happened to his little brother. He's having flashbacks. He's thinking of the cops whooping on him. We actually see Jake in the hospital. And I know when you have something like this that happens, you're trying to figure out what you could have done, what you should have been. You know, maybe I should be taking Jake to and from where he needs to go to try to protect him. Imani comes in and she's talking about, oh, you want to bring some wings to the party. But Trig, he just saying, man, look, I see what you're saying. We can't save the world. And you just want to look out for your loved one. That's all Trig is trying to do. And then they go back into the grits and she talking about, don't be putting no sugar in my grits. He's talking about, you got to eat grits the right way. I don't eat grits. That's that country shit my dad used to do in Virginia. I told my daddy, we ain't starving. We ain't struggling no more, daddy. We ain't eating no grits. Emmett's still going through it. He in the kitchen making breakfast and he's just, oh man, he's zoning out and stuff. And of course, Tiff is like, hey, Emmett, snap. Hey, get it together, brother. Plus, I'm gonna be late. He's talking about, how you gonna be late? You selling weed. She talking about, I gotta go over to the studio. I don't know how long they're gonna be there. So immediately, Emmett snaps out of it. The studio, it's gonna be niggas over there. It's dangerous and they be shooting. Oh no, you don't need to be going over there. She's like, look, I'm grown and plus it's a female rapper. Now this female rapper, she raps about niggas not being shit. And Emmett's sitting there and he's thinking, damn. Maybe she just doesn't attract the right kind of guys. And she's trying to tell him, look, Emmett, you ain't shit. And you wasn't shit until you got your shit together. But now Emmett's going to the up and up, but he still has that Dom lingering over his head. Jake in there getting ready, got his cast on. He's packing up his bag. Imani comes in. It's a box of condoms on the bed. He's like, oh, wait, yo, whoa, them ain't mine. And Imani's like, I know. I put them there for you because you about to go on this little college tour. I want you to be safe out there. You know, make sure you wear protection, people, especially young people, man. Y'all don't want kids at these young age in high school. You don't want to do it. Trust me, man. You don't want to go through it. Trig comes in. He's just looking out for his brother. He's saying, hey, if you don't want to go, I understand that. But if you do go, you got to remember, you don't have to be strong all the time. And Jake looks at him and says, yeah, we do. He also tells his brother, man, I love you. Trig says, I love you back. And the reason he told him you don't have to be strong all the time is because at some point you do need to be vulnerable and open up and be able to talk about this. Because if you're holding this kind of trauma in, it's going to be rough on you. And he's just letting Jake know, I'm here for you, brother. We on our way to the college tour. It's snowing outside. Gemma, she's over here documenting the whole event. Talking about, I'm about to go to college. I'm going to do something, some science degree. I'm listening to it like, damn, that's tough. But at least she has a plan. She's telling Kev, you got to look good. You got to smile. You got to tell people what you're going to go to school for. He's like, I don't know what I want to do yet. And she kind of gets upset and says, that I can't post that because I want us to look equally yoked. You guys are 16, 17 years old. You really don't have to have your whole future planned out. And for Kev, he's like, man, I just don't know at this point. Kev has his PTSD. A cop car rides by, he kind of jumps. So he looks over and he hasn't spoke to Jake. So he asks Jake, hey, what's wrong with you? Is your hand feeling better? And Jake is giving one word answers. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe about a month. Now this white girl comes to sit down with Jake and she's talking about, oh, you're so brave. How you stood up to that racist cop. Black lives always matter to me. I wish there was something I can do. And she puts her hand on his leg and he's like, oh, there's a few things I can do. Fellas, y'all watch out. You young black men, y'all watch out for these white girls. Now, I'm not against interracial relationships. I'm just saying be careful and watch out. Because things aren't as easy as you think they are. Kiesha got a job now, pregnant, working her butt off, but she ain't getting nothing right. The manager's on her for every single thing she does. She like, hey, you got to do it this way. I'm OCD. You got to put the stickers on the books this way. You got to pull the paper this way. Don't lean on that counter. And you just see Kiesha going through it. And this is another reason. Now, I know she was raped, but if you can prevent getting pregnant in middle school, high school, early 20s, if you aren't ready for a child, people, just be careful, use protection. I know her whole situation is different, but you can see the struggle, man. It's tough being pregnant and on your own. Kiesha in here working hard. I'm talking about she all around. What it looks like a Goodwill. She everywhere working though. A girl comes around, her name is Sid, and she's like, hey, oh, Kiesha, y'all sell purses here? And she's kind of looking at her like, oh man, you know, are you good? Because she sees that she's pregnant, but she doesn't bring it up. But everyone knows that she was missing. She was kidnapped. So she's just looking like, dang, this is all bad. But Keisha's like, oh, yeah, I'm good. The purses are up front, though. But that manager's still on Kiesha's ass. She don't care who you friends with. She don't care what you got going on. She comes with these clothes like, hey, back to work. Kiesha like, oh, my God, I hate this job. We're back in the hospital, and this isn't Douda right now. This is Otis. Now he's looking at the footage of Jake getting beat on by the cops. He's like, the DA, they have all this information. Hasn't nobody been prosecuted? And of course, Rosalind, she's like, man, you know it takes time. Now, Marcus St. John, this is Gemma's father, hands him the documents. And Otis looks at it like, man, this is it? This is all y'all got? And he's like, hey, man, don't be getting a big head right now because I helped you get to this position. And he's like, no. Let's not forget, I'm the head nigga in charge. And once they get to this room, we have 2 armed guards, police officers, sit in front of it. He's like, I got it from here. These police officers were protecting the officer that attacked Jake. We've seen at the end of last episode that Trig actually whooped on him. Pistol whip, I'm talking about, beat him bad. So dude is like, hey, you scared? You got all the security around you. Like, should I be? He's like, nah, you shouldn't. But he says Jake attacked him. And he's like, nah, from the footage, he didn't attack you. Why did you ask for his ID? Oh, because I wanted to know who I was talking to out there. But then you started attacking him. And I'm going over your file, and you have a lot of run-ins with young black men. And he tries to explain, oh, I'm a war vet. My family doesn't know if I'm coming home or nothing. And Otis tells him, you know, it's the same for me. Being a black man, my family, when I leave the house, they don't know if I'm coming home at the end of the night. Same thing could have happened to Jake because you whooped on him for not showing an ID, which he legally didn't have to show you an ID for. They come out the hospital. There's a whole protest. We got cops out there. You got people out there. Hey, how do you feel about the body cam footage? What do you think about the looting? He's like, look, people are more valuable than the property. That can be replaced. But as of right now, that cop is off of the force. We won't have any racist cops on duty while I'm the mayor. So at least he's cleaning house. And everybody's like, yeah, thank you. We needed that. My boy Papa, he trying to get him a podcast started. And what he's going to do is put it in the closet. Now, his girl, she's in there. She's helping. Talking about this ain't going to keep all the noise down. But he's like, hey, man, this is all I can afford. I can't go get a studio like you want me to. She talking about if you can get Emmett to pay you under the table. Man, Emmett ain't paying nobody under the table. But Papa's like, look, I just keep thinking about what happened with the cops. And Maisha, she supports them. And she's saying, look, once you get this podcast going, your voice, it may be what's needed in the city to, you know, bring awareness to all the situation. Now, Papa, he's ambitious, so he's thinking further ahead. He DM'd Van Jones. He said that wants to be his first guest on there. And she's laughing, talking about, he may have answered your DM, but he ain't coming over here. And he's talking about, you supposed to be holding me down. She says, I am, but also, I'm going to be honest with you. Now, he may not come over to this, you know, but in Papa's head, he has a vision. Hey, if you have a vision, people, go get it. We get introduced to Shy. Now, he comes out of jail. It looks like he been here for a while because he got on what appears to be a Rockaware jean jacket on. So my boy been locked up since '09. Come out smoking that cigarette. Then guess who picking him up? It's our boy Trig in the G-Wagon. They get out here. They catching up. He talking about, man, when this G-Wagon come out? Trig like, oh, about a while ago. So, you know, my man's been in for a while. You talking about, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? What the girl's looking like? I heard you got you a bad B. Trig says, don't call her no B, man. Call her Monty. And keep your hands to yourself. He like, I'll try. Then Trig, you know, being a good homie, toss him a stack. Like, talking about, you need anything else? What Shy want? I want a girl with little titties and a big ass and low standards. Because you know how I gets down. That man really been locked up for a minute. We having a big office meeting now. Everybody's in here that's important. And we're talking about Otis just running his mouth. And Rosalind makes a joke hinting at Trump, talking about he's the only one. Only the white politics can say whatever they want and get away with it. Now, Otis comes in. He's like, all right, look, this is what we doing. This is the plan. Now, St. John, he says, look, I don't work for you and we're trying to get this Olympics here. And Otis has to remind him, you work for me. And the reason you're here is because you wanted the Olympic stuff. So you worry about that. And you didn't want to work for a woman. So you work for me. And Rosalind tells him, listen, you can't just be firing cops without coming to talk to us. You need to come consult with us before you do that. Because without a plan, you just firing people, it's not going to look good. And you need to be reelected. So everything you do is part of your campaign. As he's walking out, Rosalind says, hey, you need to start thinking and talking to us and not going off of your gut. He turns around and says, is that a threat? Because I'm good wherever I go. Now, we seen at the beginning of the first episode, somebody had got shot and it looked like they were holding their gut. Is this foreshadowing? Is this telling us something? Rosalind might have something to do with the shooting of Otis? I don't know. but that's just one of my theories. As they're touring the campus, Gemma, she's starting to break it down. She likes the idea of college, but she starts to go into how people accumulate so much debt from this. And then in the end, you just end up with a degree or something. You might need a master's or a doctorate, and you might not even get a job. Now, she's right about that. College, it is a business. It is about making money, but no one tells you to go take out student loans that you know you can't afford. If you know that you're tight on money, take one class here, one class here. Don't put yourself in debt going to school. Work while you do it. Me personally, I wasn't going to school unless it was free, and I got my bachelor's. I'm in my master's now, but I'm debt free. I don't have any of that because there's alternative routes to get you a college education. But she is making valid points about this. She also brings up Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, how most of the rich people, they don't have a degree. But what they fail to mention is Bill Gates actually enrolled in Harvard for 2 years and was doing pre-law. He studied mathematics. So he did have an engineering background. He was smart and he did get knowledge from school. Along with Steve Jobs, he also went to school for 2 years. So whether they didn't get they may have not got the degree, but they had some kind of higher education. They had some kind of background behind them. It's not like they just woke up one morning, I'm gonna do computers. No, they had an educational background. That doesn't mean don't follow your dreams, people. You can be whatever you want. I'm not discrediting anybody. But she's telling them, stop thinking small. And he's like, I'm tired of you telling me how to think. I'm gonna go find Jake. She talking about, oh, you mad at me? He's like, I'm not mad. I just don't want to hear you talk about this anymore. She talking about, sounds like toxic masculinity to me. No, it's just the man ain't trying to talk about that right now. Everything isn't toxic, people. Everything isn't toxic. Kev looking for Jake, and Jake is looking for a rubber. They on 2 different college tours, let me tell you. Gotta watch out for these girls. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out for your young boys. Watch out for them, man. These girls are gonna be all over them, especially if they're a hero or a basketball player or a football player. This Dom stuff is weighing heavy on Emmett now. Darnell's always on that damn earpiece talking about, man, you need to man up and tell the truth. And Emmett thinks he's talking to him, talking about, man, you told me not to tell Tiff. He's like, hey, bro, I'm on the phone. Everything ain't about you. Other people got problems in life, too. Now, they come up to Kiesha, and of course, Darnell, he's talking about, hey, man, can you give me an employee discount? Like, man, everything in this thing, 50 to 80 to shit. Most of it look like it's free. Ain't no damn discount in here. We know Emmett and Kiesha, they always had a close relationship with each other. And he's telling her, I got something to do, and I think I know what I need to do. And she's like, yeah, I told you, you need to tell her the truth. And he's like, yeah, but I don't want anybody to hurt. So they both consult with each other, and they both know that each other have things going on in life, but they always been able to talk to each other. And that's one thing that's good about their relationship. Even though they aren't together anymore physically or anything, they still have that bond and they actually talk to each other. So he's telling her, whatever you need, look out, I got you. And she's talking about anything you need, you can always talk to me about it. So they hug each other. He looks at her like, okay, you pregnant? She like, But now she's starting to think like, man, I don't know what to do. Kev like, Jake, man, where you been at? He like, boy, mind your business. Now they get upstairs and we see what it looks like, maybe some frat boys in there, and they playing the video game. Jake talking about, I play the game, but I don't play it like that. Kev said, man, they giving out scholarships for that. So even though they haven't been really speaking, they still boys, they still brothers. So he pulled out some money. He's like, hey, go make some money off these foods. Kev's like, nah, man. Jake's like, bruh, if you don't take this money and go in there and whoop on them dudes. So even though they may have clashed, they didn't see eye to eye, they still boys, they still brothers. You put that behind you. You may go out there and throw them hands for 30, 40 seconds. But at the end of the day, y'all still boys and brothers. It's just, you don't always agree with each other, and that's life. Kev goes in there with the money talking about, hey, can I get in? And it don't look like they playing Fortnite. It look like some knockoff fake night or something. And they do that boy Kev wrong. If you watch the episode, you look at his controller. The light ain't even on that PlayStation controller. So he better not win a damn thing, man. They doing my boy dirty. Look at that. Y'all thought I was lying? Controller ain't even turned on. Come on, Kev. How you gonna win some money? Jake gonna be mad as hell. You come out there with no money because you didn't have a controller that was turned on. Tiff over here serving the block. And since she got a referral, she like, I threw it a little bit extra in there. It's probably just another gram, maybe 2 grams. But he's in there and he pulls off cardinal sin number 1. He starts talking to her. How you like that married life? Seems like you bored with old boy. Never do this, gentlemen. That's the lamest thing you can do. But she's keeping it real. She's like, man, at first, there was a lot of drama, but things are better now. So she's holding him down. But this guy, what he's doing is just chipping away. He's starting to make her feel like, oh, you deserve more. And when dudes start doing this, they gonna start talking down on whoever the girl is with to try to make them look bigger and better. And that's lame and that sucker stuff. We don't do that around here, fellas. We know the meeting. Marcus and Rosalind like, dog, you gotta calm down. You can't just do everything you want to do. She's like, hey, you can't just call an impromptu press conference. He's like, man, I do whatever the hell I want to do. I'm Otis, damn it. He's just wilding out, bro, taking things in his own hands. Otis then came out here and shook up the city of Chicago people. He comes out and he gives a speech, and I'm like, I'm feeling this because black lives don't seem to matter around here. We can't go babysit our own kids. We can't walk to the store without us being harassed by the cops. So you know what I'm gonna do? Because the definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over, which is really insanity, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting change. But effective immediately, we are defunding the police until we could find a better solution. Now, this right here is going to split the city in half. Because them white folks going to be like, we support blue lives. And then them black folks, they going to be like, hell yeah, this is what we needed. So I don't know how this is going to go. But this man, Otis, he's on a mission now. Y'all thought I was playing. They even turned the camera upside down because this whole city is shooken up now. I'm talking about we may need martial law. We may need the National Guard. This is Chicago with no funding for the police. Oh, yeah. Governor, send in the National Guard. We need help. We need backup because it's about to be crazy as hell out here. But maybe that's what the city needs. Papa's laying on the ground. He's down and out. He gets on Instagram Live and he's talking about, man, Van Jones, I DM'd him and all he's doing is leaving me on red. It's a shame he didn't come here. Now his girl's looking on and she's like, oh, well, he's going to a red table talk. That's probably why he didn't show up. So Papa was just misinformed. He didn't know what Van actually had going on because, he probably already had these days scheduled. So he's like, oh, I apologize. Let's have prayers for him and hope he doesn't forget about us small people. Now, him and Maisha, they start talking. And she's like, I'm sorry I didn't believe in you. And he's like, well, he didn't show up. She's saying, yeah, maybe not this time, but I should have more faith in you. But I have a backup plan. So she's actually looking out for Papa. So this relationship is good. You don't always agree with each other, but in the end, if you can come to a common ground, that's always a positive. Look at this man, Emmy. He in there, him and Tiff, they in there doing their grown people thing. But he keeps hearing Darnell talking. He's talking. She's like, who are you talking to? He's like, oh, I'm talking to you. But you also hear Darnell say it's only a matter of time before, we doubled up. So that means if you and Tiff break up, that means she's off limit. He's like, man, get the fuck out of here. And Tiffany's like, hey, man, what's wrong? What are you having regrets or something? He's like, nah. This man, Emmett, he's sitting at the edge of the bed. Fuck Dom. She's like, what? She hops up and now you got him talking about, I only want to be with you. I love you. She walks out. You hear the door slam. Come on, Emmett. You didn't finish. And you going to do it while you haven't. Oh, man. You could at least waited till the next day or something or before you had sex. Come on, dog. You just ain't thinking things through, man. You messing up worse. Emmett. My boy, you should have talked to Darnell. Darnell told you not to say nothing. Shy come in the house. Oh man, it's a celebration in here. Everybody in here. We got drink. We got food. He sees Imani. He's like, okay, I see you, Trig. You nice. And Trig like, hey, calm down, brother. This one's mine, man. I told you about that. He's like, man, you know me, man. It's just jokes. I just need some girls and some food. I need all of that. But he's like, man, let me go meet my people. Now Imani pulls Trig over to the side because they got to have a talk. Imani's like, he gonna need a ride after this, and you said it was just gonna be a little bit amount of people here. Trig's trying to explain, this is where he's gonna be staying at. He did a bid for me because Shy got locked up for him back in the day, and put in some work. She's trying to say if the roles were reversed, would he done the same? I think he probably would have. But we look over and Shy, he's having a little too much fun. He starts demanding things. They came in for the reunion. It looks like it's 70 themed. They got afros. They got the bell bottoms. They got the platform shoes. They came in, look like they better have a good time. Now, I don't do no class reunions. I ain't go to my 10 year. Definitely ain't going to my 20 year. I ain't doing none of it. I don't even talk to that many people I went to school with. Maybe like 3 people. It's Cooley High themed. And turned out they sent out an email and said, hey, we ain't doing that. Can't nobody find no, ain't nobody looking for no costume. Darnell, you know he ain't checked the email twice, so they don't even know. Now, young Suede's in here, and it turns out one of the ladies, she got a massage in a little bit more from Mr. Suede. So Jada, she's sitting there, she's like, oh man, this little dude that made his rounds around. Yeah, you ain't the only one. Kevin here going crazy on this fake night with the controller that's turned off. I'm talking about whooping everybody. Look at little white boy on the left side in the couch like, dang man, this little nigga stealing all my damn money, man. So Kev ends up winning. He's like, man, that's my coke money, man. We ain't gonna be able to do nothing in here. So now this white guy, he's trying to get his money back. So he's like, you ever did coke? You ever did shrooms? And Kev at first, he's like, nah, I'm just gonna stick to my vape, man. That's white people drugs. Now the other guy on the right side, he's like, yeah, man, he's just a kid. But peer pressure, man. He looking around, he's seeing all these older dudes, and he's like, all right, I want to fit in. So they give him a pill. Kev, damn. Stay away from drugs, people. It's starting to hit now. Kev is just picking up drinks and just killing them. He's starting to hallucinate. He looking around. He playing the game. You know he about to lose all that money. Jake gonna have to come save him. He can probably have to fight one of these white boys too. You know, white boys, when they get to drinking and doing stuff, they start acting kind of weird, man. They be doing all kinds of off the wall shit. All right, people. Van Jones couldn't make it, but we got a special treat for you. We got Papa's baby in the booth. She about to spit a freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Coming to the booth. Let's hear what she got. Just turn the beat on, Papa, and let her do the rest. Okay, she get in there, she starts speaking, and she's touching on everything that most black people we experience. She's talking about how she had to watch her little siblings and stuff that weren't hers because her mom had to go do work and stuff. She talking about Dirk come sign me. She talking about Papa, that's her man right there. She riding for him. She found her king. So she was actually in there spitting. I'm not gonna lie, it was the flow was right. She was spitting. You see Papa like, okay, I ain't know you could snap like that, baby. Tiff, no, why Tiff? Tiff, she left the house. Ain't take no shower, just got dressed. That monkey is still sweating from Emmy being up in it. And she goes back and I don't know if she gave it to old boy, but they kissing and I can only imagine she's getting even here. Tiff, I told you to call me when it was over. Call me. Hey, man. Well, see what happens? A guy's gonna get in a woman's ear. So whenever something goes wrong, she has somewhere to fall back on, man. Damn, Tiff. There's an older man being harassed by two officers, and he doesn't look like he has anything really going on. He's just walking around. He has a book bag. They're throwing it out. It's nothing in there. So he may either be homeless or he may be, you know, a little special needs. But he's getting harassed by the cops. And Trig comes over and he's like, hey, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? That's my cousin. The reason he says it's his cousin is because normally if it's just an outside person, cops, they're not going to let just an outside random person talk to. But if it is a family member of kin, they technically are allowed to give whatever property and let them talk. So that's why he's saying that's my cousin, so I can be here to record. Now Trig pulls his phone out, he starts recording it, and of course a crowd is gathering. We see two cops, we see a man on the ground, and everyone knows this man isn't gonna hurt anybody. He's probably just homeless and just walks around. He's a cool dude. So Trig tells everybody, y'all wanna be famous? Everyone pull their phone out, because the more people that have this documented, the better. And these cops, they got their guns out. Oh my goodness. So the cops, they like, man, I ain't dealing with this. Because they know when them cameras is on them, your ass is getting fired more than likely. Especially with them defunding the police. If you have this mayor on here that's firing cops because of this, yeah, if you on footage, you going down. And like I said, this man, he's probably special needs. Because when Trig said, I'm going to take you home, shorty, he's like, oh, shotgun. So this is just a innocent man that was harassed for no reason. It's a good thing Trig was there to look out for him. Kev done got kicked off the college tour. He in the bathroom throwing up, and Kiesha, she's mad. She's like, look at you. I can't believe you got kicked off of this. I'm supposed to be in college, but here I am picking you up because you out here acting a damn fool. You know what? You owe me, because I'm not going to tell mom about this, but you owe me for this. And he has to go back in the bathroom and throw up. Kev, you really, man, damn. That peer pressure for young kids, even adults, you see adults that get suckered into peer pressure, but as kids, that peer pressure from elders, it really is a real thing, man, and it's terrible. It looks like we got an appointment to head to. Kiesha talking about how y'all gonna leave me, so it must be something to do with the baby. Now Kev is up and they like, I thought you wasn't feeling good, Kev. He's like, I'm not. He got that hangover. I'm not feeling good, but I still want to roll. Tiff over here laid up. I'm hurting for you, Emmett. I'm hurt. I thought I was next in line. Damn, I'm third. Look at Emmy. He just sitting at the house like, damn, what have I done? The whole family went along for Kiesha's ultrasound, and it's looking like we got a healthy baby. That's always a good thing. It's always a blessing. We find out that there's a baby coming in that's healthy, just to find out that Jada has cancer. So they're going to do a biopsy to see actually how far along it is and if it really is cancer. But anytime you hear that news, cancer, that's some devastating news to hear. There you go, episode 2 of The Shot. Let me know what you guys think. My main thing is that defunding of the police. So you know these police about to act the fool. Let me know what you think about that. You think that's a good idea? You think more cities should actually defund the police? Let me know what y'all think. I'm MoedotJ. If you like the content on the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Make sure you're here for episode 3 next week. This is The Shy Recaps, and I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.